Hello everyone, welcome to Infallible Handmaids. In this video we are going to learn a new basic stitch in beading called as the brick stitch. In this stitch the beads are stacked horizontally with each new bead nestled between two beads from the previous row, creating an offset pattern which highly resembles a brick wall, and thus it gets the name the brick stitch. To start the brick stitch we need a sturdy base. For that we are going to use the ladder stitch as our base stitch. If you are a beginner, this video is very important because in this video we will learn about how to make ladder stitch, how to start the brick stitch, how to increase the brick stitch, how to decrease the brick stitch. We will also learn about what to do if you messed up with your work, how to unravel the beads, how to save your work if you messed up somewhere, how to attach a new thread to your work, and how to finish and secure your beading work. If you want to learn all of this in this video, watch this video till the end without skipping. To begin the brick stitch, we need a sturdy base stitch. For the base stitch, I am going to use the ladder stitch. With the ladder stitch, I am going to create the base row with 6 beads. So let's start the ladder stitch. We have created a separate detailed video on how to make ladder stitch. The link for that video is available in the description box below, so please check it out. For the ladder stitch, we will add 2 beads to our yarn. Then leave a tail of about 4 to 5 inches. Insert your needle up through the first bead that you have added to the yarn. Pull it tight so that the 2 beads sit next to each other like this. To make the starting beads sturdy, we will insert our needle through the beads to form a loop. Now bring your needle down through the next bead so that you can add another bead to your work. We want the bead to sit like this, so we will pass our needle down through the previously added bead and again up through the newly added bead. Now add the next bead. Now pass your needle up through the previously added bead and down through the newly added bead. Now continue adding the beads until you have 6 beads in a row. Now our base ladder stitch have 6 beads in a row. To make the last beads of our ladder stitch to sit sturdy, we're going to go a loop through the beads. Now our fundamental base ladder stitch is ready. On top of this we are going to work our brick stitch. As we have even number of beads in our ladder stitch, our working end yarn is coming downwards through the last bead. In order to build the brick stitch on top of this ladder stitch, then your working end yarn should be facing upwards. To do that, just simply flip your work so that the working end yarn is facing upwards. Now you are all set to start your brick stitch. I would like to introduce another term called as the thread bridge. The thread bridge is the thread that goes between the 2 beads. That is, this is the thread that connects the 2 beads together. So for the brick stitch we will be using or inserting our needle through the thread bridge. So I just want to let you know that this is the thread bridge. In this example our ladder stitch have 6 beads. So we have 5 thread bridges. Our ladder stitch have 6 beads. So on top of this we are going to create a brick stitch. So our brick stitch will be having 5 beads. So it's basically decrease in the brick stitch. For the decreasing brick stitch, we will add 2 beads to our yarn. Skip the first thread bridge and insert your needle from back to the front through your second thread bridge. We are skipping the first thread bridge because this is decreasing brick stitch. Pull it tight. Always maintain a uniform thread tension throughout your work. Now we want our beads to sit like this, like a brick wall. Now insert your needle up through the newly added bead, like this. Now insert your needle down through the next bead and pull tight. Now again insert your needle up through the newly added bead, like this, and pull tight. When you pull the yarn tightly, the beads will automatically sit next to each other like this, forming a brick structure. Now let's add another bead. Now insert your needle through the next thread bridge from back to front. Now again pass your needle up through the newly added bead. Pull tight. Now add your next bead. Pass your needle from back to front through your next thread bridge. Pull tight and pass your needle up through the newly added bead. Now add another bead. This is our final bead of this row of brick stitch. Pass your needle from back to front of the thread bridge. Pull tight and pass your needle up through the newly added bead. Now we have completed the first row of our brick stitch. This is a decreasing brick stitch. If you want to continue the next row of brick stitch, you can continue, or else if you want to make the beads sturdy, you can pass your needle down through the previous bead and again pass your needle up through the newly added bead, like this. This will give very stable and sturdy finish to your row. This step is optional because we're going to continue working with the brick stitch for our next row also. Our next row is also a decrease in brick stitch, so we will be having 4 beads on top of this. We are actually planning to make a diamond shape, which is a symmetrical shape, so you can continue working with the same direction, or else you can turn your work, which makes more sense because this is how we started our decreasing row of brick stitch. But the best practice is to continue your brick stitch without turning your work. In case if you are working with patterns or with multiple colored beads, if you turn your work every time for each row, it will be very confusing. So in order to have a detailed view of what you're working on, it's better to have your tail end yarn on your left hand side and work on your beads in the same direction without turning your project. As our third row is going to be a decrease in brick stitch, we are going to skip the first thread bridge and work on the second thread bridge. For that we will add 2 beads. Skip the first thread bridge and insert your needle in the second thread bridge from back to front, like this, and pull your yarn. Now insert your needle up through the last bead you have added. and then down through the next bead. Now again insert your needle up through the last bead you have added and pull your yarn tightly. Now add the next bead to your yarn. Insert your needle to the next thread bridge from back to front and again pass your needle up through the last bead that you have added. Now we are going to add the last bead of this row. Add a bead, insert your needle through the next thread bridge from back to front, pull your yarn. Now insert your needle up through the last bead that you have added, pull it tight, and your third row is completed. In case if you want to add extra stability to your third row, you can make a loop with your thread, or this step is not necessary. You can just proceed with your fourth row. The fourth row will be having 3 beads and we will be using the decreasing brick stitch. To begin our fourth row, we will not turn our work. We will add 2 beads to our yarn and we will skip the first thread bridge and pass our needle to the next thread bridge and again pass our needle up through the last bead and down through the next bead, and again pass your needle up through the last bead, pull it tight. Now we will add the next bead and this is the last bead of this row. We will pass our needle through the thread bridge and up through the newly added bead, and yes, we have completed this work, and you can make a loop for extra stability. This step is optional. You can skip this and go to the next row. Our next row is also a decreasing brick stitch. We will add 2 beads to our yarn. We will skip the first thread bridge and insert our needle to the next thread bridge from back to front, pull it tight. Now insert your needle up through the last bead you have added and down through the next bead, and again pass your needle up through the last bead you have added. Now our top row will have a single bead because we are creating a diamond shape, so the last row will have a single bead on top of this. So let's see how we will add the single bead. Insert 1 bead to your thread, we want this bead to sit like this. So what we will do is we will insert our needle down through all the beads to the left of that bead. Yeah, right there. We will insert through all the beads that we have created, and we will just go to the opposite side. The thread tension is very important for brick stitch, so adjust your tension throughout your work to maintain a uniform thread tension. As we are creating a diamond shape, we have brought the working end yarn to one corner, which is comfortable enough to start working on the diamond shape. To begin with, we will just rotate our work so that it will be easier for us to work the following rows. As this is a learning video, we are now going to learn how to do increasing brick stitch. We started our project with single row of ladder stitch with 6 beads. Then using decreasing brick stitch, we completed 1/2 of our diamond shape. Now we will increase the beads for the next 2 rows. Then we will start the decreasing brick stitch to complete the diamond shape. Now we have just turned our work. Now I will add 2 rows using the increasing brick stitch. So let's get started. For the decreasing brick stitch, we will skip the first thread bridge, whereas for the increasing brick stitch, we will not skip the first thread bridge. We will start the increasing brick stitch by adding 2 beads to your yarn. Now insert your needle to the first thread bridge from back to front. Then insert your needle up through the last added bead. Then down through the next bead. Then again up through the lastly added bead. Pull it tight. Now we have made an increasing brick stitch. The only difference between an increasing and a decreasing brick stitch is, for the decreasing brick stitch we will skip the first thread bridge, whereas for the increasing brick stitch we will not skip and we will actually insert a needle through the first thread bridge. Now add the next bead to your yarn. Insert your needle through the next thread bridge from back to front, and then insert your needle up through the newly added bead and pull tight. In the same way, keep adding beads until you reach 6 beads in this row. Actually, this row should have 7 beads, but adding the 7th bead to this row is a bit challenging because the ladder stitch, the base fundamental ladder stitch contains 6 beads. So we have only 5 thread bridges. As this is an increasing stitch, we have already included the first thread bridge without skipping it. But while adding the 7th bead, we will run out of the thread bridge. So when we reach that stage, we will see what we can do. I'm adding the 6th bead now. Now let's add the 7th bead for this row. As we don't have the thread bridge, what we will do is we will insert our needle down through the bead that sits exactly down to the newly added bead, like this. To start our next row, we want our working end yarn to come out from the newly added bead at the top. So basically what we are going to do is we are going to pass the thread, the working thread, through existing beads and the surrounding beadwork to move from one point to another within the design. So the goal is to move from one point to another point with less number of passes by just weaving in the threads in between the beads and follow the same path where the thread has been already passed to avoid any unintentional changes to your work. And also hiding the thread inside the beads, making the finished piece look more professional and polished. The process requires selecting the appropriate thread thickness and needle size so that the needle and the thread can pass through the beads multiple times without cracking them or getting stuck in between your work. We are using pony beads for our learning purpose. Pony beads usually have a large hole size for the beads, so it will be easier to work with. But when you are using seed beads in size 10 or 11, it will be very small and you need to calculate the exact pathway to minimize the number of thread passes per bead. Now we have navigated our working end yarn through the beads, and now it's coming exactly from the place where we want to start our next row. My next row is also going to be an increasing brick stitch with 8 beads in a row. As this video turned a bit long, I'm going to stop the video right here and continue the next part in the next video. I will give the link for the next video, which will be the continuation of this video, in the description box below, so please check it out. In the next video, we will add one more row with increasing brick stitch, then the following rows with decreasing brick stitch until we get a diamond shape. We will also cover the topics about what to do when you mess your work in the middle of your project and how to unravel beads and save your work. We will also cover how to add a new thread to your project and how to finish and secure your beadwork. If you like this video, please give a thumbs up, share it with your friends and subscribe to my channel Infallible Handmaids. If you are new to bead art, we have an exclusive playlist for bead art and beaded jewelry. I will give the link for those playlists also in the description box below, so please check it out. Hope you all enjoyed this video and thank you for watching. See you all soon in the next video. Bye.